In this video, I'm gonna talk about a concept that we call exceptions handling. Uh, Let me take you to my writing board here. And this is kind of like, it's gonna be probably the longest script that we have written so far in this specific section of our course when it comes to scripting languages. And what I want to show you is that, let's say you are using a script to run some mathematical operations, and you want to make an exception that for this specific script we want to divide numbers. Okay, so you ask your user to input the first number, and then the second number will divide the first number. Like if the first number is 4, we'll give you an example here. So the first number, that's the first input. So this is going to be first input from the user. From the user, it's going to be 4. And then the first one will be divided by the second input. So this will be the second input from the user. So you're writing a script to do this operation here. So we want to do this. And that's the script we're gonna write together. But you wanna make exceptions because the user may choose the first number to be 4, but then what if they choose 0? And this is not functional operational, right? Mathematical operational operations speaking. I don't know how to say this, but you know, the dividing 4 by 0, that's kind of like impossible, right? I mean, you can still do it, but a computer cannot handle that. So you want to make this as an exception. Now the question is, how do we do that? And that's exactly what I'm gonna show you how to do it. The first thing that you need to use is this one here. So I'm gonna use the try command as part of our script here. We're gonna have about 4 blocks here. So we're gonna have the try block, then we'll have the first except or exception block, then I'll provide another exception block, and then finally this is what we want to do. So we're gonna have 4 blocks here for this specific script. And what we want to do, okay, so what we want to do is to create our file. First, I'll take you here. We want to create our file here. Hold on, let me make this a little bit bigger. All right, I'll make it a little bit bigger so that you guys can see my screen here correctly. That's much better. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna create a file. We'll call it exceptions handling, and then remember the extension is py. It's py. That's the extension. I'm gonna move my mic. I don't think you guys were able to see my hear me better. All right, so that's what we have here, and insert. Then I'm gonna type in what I need. So I'm gonna say this is a comment using exceptions handling in Python. The first thing that, as I said, is to begin with try column. Then you make sure that you indent what you need here. And I'll say that this is a code that might throw an exception. Okay, so I'll say that. Then I'm gonna set some variables here, and so I would say that I'm gonna say the numerator, because remember we're doing a division here, so we need to have a numerator on top and then the denominator at the bottom. So the first input number, we want it to be an integer, like should be a number, and we're gonna require that to be an input. We add this message here, enter a number, and we close our double brackets here. Then we're gonna do the same with like what we've just done for the numerator. We're gonna do the same with the denominator here, and then I'll just copy this here, then paste it there. It's pretty much the same stuff. And now for the results, we will say the results will be equal to numerator, and then remember this is a division, so I'm gonna add the / sign here. Then the denominator, I think I'm spelling that right. Yeah. So, and that will be it. And the results, we want to print this here. So you can do the F, like what I'm doing here, and then you have the results here. Then we use the curly brackets and say we want to display the results. Close the curly brackets and then the regular bracket. And now we need to add the exception by using except, and we'll call it zero division error. We want to avoid that as E, and this is where we handle our first exception. And I'll say handle division by zero error. Next line, then I want to print this here. So it's going to be an error. You cannot divide by 0. So that's the exception that we are defining as part of our script here. And then the next thing is the second exception would be except value error as E, and we're gonna put a comment here to say handle invalid input, because sometimes somebody may put invalid numbers, like instead of a number they put a letter, you know, something like that. We want to print and show to the user that there's an error. Please enter a valid integer. So we want to make sure that they follow that, and they will see that message. And then finally, column, I'm going to indent that, and comment would be code that runs regardless of an exception occurring. So occurring, all right. So and then we would like to print. Gonna print execution. Execution completed. So that'll be kind of like the results there. All right. So this is what we've done. So we're gonna. This is our operation. This is what we want our system to do. So we basically that's what we want. We want our system to to display, to really use this operator, division operator, and asking the user to input two numbers that they're going to divide. But we want to make sure that we don't get, we display error messages. And you do this also, you can apply this to any service or any application or anything like that which requires Python scripting. All right, so I'm gonna save this and close it. All right, so we've done that, and I can verify this here. So that's the content that we need. And so let's say I'm gonna clear my screen, I'm gonna cut that, and then I'm gonna run the script here. So it's gonna be exception. So it's gonna ask me, well, there's an error here. So we're gonna have to fix this. Yeah, so the you see here, I didn't close the double quotation marks. So let me try that. That may probably resolve the issue. So let me try that. I'm gonna insert. So I'm gonna go back here. Where did you get the error? I'm gonna go back here. So I'm gonna go to F. I need to put it here. I'm gonna save, quit, and then we're gonna try it. So I'll clear my screen. I'm gonna add this first, then I'll try to run it like that. You see now it's asking me to enter the number. So let's say if you want to enter first number 2, then the second one, I say 2, the first one 4, the second one 2. So it's gonna be 4 divided by 2. It should give us 2 here, but something is wrong here. Okay, so let me fix that. And this is kind of like troubleshooting your script. So because if you do any spelling errors or anything, it's gonna mess up your you see here. So I have result with S, and here I don't have result with S. So that may be it. So I'm gonna add the S here. There you go. Then I'm gonna save and quit. I'm gonna do the same thing here. I want to show you the content so that you know what's happening here. So we're gonna do the same thing here. It's gonna ask for the first number, then the second number. 4 divided by 2 should be 2. So here we are. So we have that. And now remember, what I'm gonna do, remember we have these exceptions here, right? So if you divide 4 by 2, it's gonna call onto this here, because it should, you cannot divide by 0. So let's give it a try and see. So I'm gonna run that again. I'll say 4 divided by 0. So you're gonna see we get the error from our script saying you cannot divide by 0. I'll try to, let me show you the content here. So we have validated this, right? So let's try to use 4 divided by a letter, or 4 divided by 1.5, and then see what happens. So we're gonna try that. 4 divided by 1.5. You see? So please enter a valid integer, and an integer, that's a whole number. So it should be 4 1, 2, 3, but not like 1.5. What about if we did like n here? So we're gonna get again the same error. So that's kind of like the point here. So you write a script and then to say, okay, this is our operations, this is what we want the script to do, and then you define some of the possible errors that may happen, and that's how they use it even for your website and stuff like that, using exceptions. And I hope this video was very helpful. We'll see you in the next video, but this I think ends the series on Python. The different concepts that I have discussed as part of this Python section. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next section of the course.